Good morning. Today is Labor Day or May Day. Many countries around the world celebrate today as a public holiday in honor of the workers or laborers or wage earners, those that work in the fields, in the factories, in industries, in whatever professions or just small businesses or their own company. These are the workers and laborers that we should celebrate today on Labor Day or May Day. I want to read to you from a passage in the book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy is a very important book. Jesus has 3 favorite books, which he quoted from time to time in his preaching, in his teaching. And Deuteronomy is one of the 3 favorite books of our Lord Jesus Christ. The other 2 are the book of Psalms and the book of Isaiah. But let me just read to you Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 14 until 22. Chapter 24, verses 14 to 22. In the King James Version. Perhaps I should read in the Holman Christian Standard Version, as you see on your screen. Do not oppress a hired hand who is poor and needy. Whether one of your brothers or one of the foreigners residing within a town in your land, you are to pay him his wages each day before the sun sets, because he is poor and depends on them. Otherwise, he will cry out to the Lord against you, and you will be held guilty. Fathers are not to be put to death for their children, or children for their fathers. Each person will be put to death for his own sin. Verse 17. Do not deny justice to a foreigner or fatherless child, and do not take a widow's garment as security. Remember that you were a slave in Egypt, and the Lord your God redeemed you from there. Therefore, I'm commanding you to do this. When you reap the harvest in your field, and you forget the sheaf in the field, do not go back to get it. It is to be left for the foreigner, the fatherless, and the widow, so that the Lord your God may bless you in all the work of your hands. When you knock down the fruit from your olive tree, you must not go over the branches again. What remains will be for the foreigner, the fatherless, and the widow. When you gather the grapes of your vineyard, do not glean what is left. What remains will be for the foreigner, the fatherless, and the widow. Remember that you were a slave in the land of Egypt. Therefore, I'm commanding you to do this. My brothers and sisters, this passage in the law of Moses, in the book of Deuteronomy, is pertinent for us to appreciate and understand what the Lord is teaching his people, our relationships with one another, our relationship with the poor and the needy, including hired servants. Hired servants may include those that we engage to work on our behalf, our servants, like our maids, housekeepers. The hired servant would include migrant workers, those that come from overseas or foreign land, because in verse 14 it says, whether he be one of your brothers or foreigners who live or reside in your town, in your land. So wage earners, our employees, those that work for us, they may be our countrymen or fellow citizens, but they may also be foreigners, just with a work pass or work permit or employment pass. But our treatment of them should be the same. Our treatment of them must be equal